Hi. Wow, I don't know what happened to the music. That was weird. Anyways. Oh, I see what happened. I'm an idiot. Hey guys, what's up? No, oh my god, I had my YouTube open in another um thing, another window, making sure that everything was going live correctly on YouTube. When I heard myself delayed. Wow, that was crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Thanks for being here and dealing with my antics. You guys, Riley is going to join me in this live today. He didn't want to move when I set up, so he's just going to hang out in the back while we go over some things. So, per usual, we got some MLM stuff to talk about. Some of us have been here before when we've talked about her. If you didn't know already, my name is Chelsea, if you're new. And name's right there, obviously. Can't mess that up. But we are gonna talk about you guys remember Tiffany? She was a Celestia girl, and I did do a video where I talked about her lives, or she went on a live and she was just talking about how messed up it was that all these MLMs were changing to the affiliate program and getting rid of their downlines and all that. So her MLM that she's in, Celestia, it's not hers, but the one that she's in, they have been making some changes to their comp plan, and she did a live about it, and I wanted to go over it with you guys because I watched a little bit of it here and there, but I wanted to share most of it so we could watch together and see what she says. So this is the new comp plans for the comp plan changes for Celestia. And sorry, I'm looking down here because I have my laptop. I need to get a new setup.
You should.
Oops, there she is. All right. Let's see here. What do I want to do? We can do it like this. All right. Gosh, it's like I've never been live before or something. I've only done this a few times. All right. So, anyways, we're going to talk about Tiffany. So, let's dive in and see what she has to say about the new Celestia comp plan changes. And she's going to tell you guys some stuff, some good stuff that we have been saying on the anti-MLM side of YouTube here for quite some time. So, let's go ahead and let's listen to her.
What's up? I feel like it's been 400 years since I've been live. 400, not 88. My hair is going to be shedding this whole entire video because literally right before this, it was in a ponytail and has been in a ponytail literally all day today. I went to the church and had to do a few things, and I'm actually I just pulled my earring out. Pretty disgusting right now. I did not have a lick of makeup on, but I did a little bit of makeup.
First of all, I think she looks great. I just wanted to throw that out there. Her hair looks great. So she's clearly not using money
For this, because I felt like, you know what, if we're going to get on here and spill the tea, spill the guts, spill the secrets, spill everything that's been going on, might as well
all
look
the
presentable.
tea.
Hey, Melissa, will you share this into the Salt Team page? You should be able to do that. And also like the founders chat and different ones, because I think that they deserve this explanation along with everybody else. I want to make sure everybody sees it. All right, so if you're watching
the founders chat, did I even realize that Celestia also has founders? Sounds familiar.
Don't be a creeper. Just hop on and say, hey, it doesn't matter, you know, where you're from or what you're doing or who you're with. I've got friends in all the companies, so let's not be weird about it. Let's say, hey, T. Pratt. Thank you, Melissa. I'll put some gloss on because that's the last thing I forgot to do.
Those founder shares are useless. Yes.
This is better than
yes,
what
they
y'all
are.
would have gotten. It's very, like, weirdly quiet in my room right now. Hey, Brittany, because we usually have a fan going and we don't right now. I had to cut it off because it throws me off my game. All right. Hey, Cheryl. So, this has been a very long overdue video that really needed to happen a little while back. But I have been doing this whole thing in direct sales for 10
Yes,
years.
She's the one that had the
and I have learned all the right ways to
freak out
handle
in her
things.
car.
Hey, Ashley,
That's her.
and all the wrong ways to handle things. I have learned when to keep my mouth shut. I've learned when to speak a lot. I have learned that, and sometimes I still speak when I shouldn't, and sometimes I'm still too quiet when I should be loud. Thank you, Cheryl. Hey, Kimberly. I'm learning. Hey, Kelly, I'm learning these things. Hey, Tiffany. And so
Michelle, she's in Celestia.
Sometimes I regret not speaking,
but they made
when
some
I
content
should.
changes.
Hey, Lauren,
so
sometimes I regret speaking too much. This morning I had a whole post typed out. And instead of posting it because the Lord checked me, I saved it to my drafts. But that's not what the Lord wanted from me. The Lord wanted me to delete that post. And so right before this
this
live,
is bonsai.
I deleted the post. And I was really proud of myself. And I feel like the Lord is proud of me. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Taylor. Hey, Dallas. And so I wanted to speak on something, and I've got look, when I tell y'all I was like fast mode putting on makeup, just don't, listen, it's a mess, it's fine.
I'll pause her for a minute. Whoops, yeah, this is Bonsai. That wasn't the comment that I meant to show, but we can talk about him for a second. Yeah. And then Monica, you said the Lord doesn't want you to keep scamming. No, I don't know if she's gonna leave or completely change. I don't think so based on what she's saying, but she gets a little bit more to the nitty-gritty about it. So it's definitely an interesting live that she did, whatever. You get it.
Love your baby's name, Ledger. That is so stinking cute. It's just so cute. I love it so much. I'm going to try to stay on task during this live because we all know I can talk anybody's ear off. And hey, Jenny, and I really just want to spill my heart out about what I've been doing here for the last year and 9 months, the toll it's taken on me, the different seasons I have been in my Celestia business. Hey, Lauren, and really tell y'all the truth. Are you ready for it? Can I get a hashtag truth in the comments if you're ready? Thank you. You guys are making me feel good because my shirt's very dirty from doing stuff at the church today, and my hair is nasty, and it was in a ponytail, so it looks like I have a bend in it from a curling iron, but it's from this ponytail holder. Oh, hey, Bikes On. Okay. So yesterday was a very, very rough day for me physically. I was in bed, no joke, the entire day. Okay, 70% of it, I was sleeping. The other 30%, I was just laying in bed. And so today has been a pretty decent day for me. And honest to God, after working up at the church for several hours today, I had told my friend Melissa on the phone, I said, I don't know that I'm going to feel well enough to do the live, but I just prayed and I was like, Lord, this is my job and I need to address some things. Will you give me strength? And look, I done prepared dinner. I got pork chops and cheesy broccoli fixing to go down, and we're doing this. He's blessed me. Hey, Chris, so I'm going to try to stay on track. Here we go. I've been at Celestia as a founder, for a year and 9 months. I came here very broken. We are going to speak about my past. Let me just tell you something. I'm going to speak about my past companies. I'm going to speak about my time at my past companies. I'm going to speak about paychecks at my past companies. It's going down. So if you don't like the truth, because I will always, if I ever speak it, I can literally back it up with screenshots, screen recordings, voice clips, whatever you need. I have receipts, okay? So don't ever think Tiffany Pratt's lying to you.
I love this for so many reasons because she came off here saying she wasn't feeling good. She was laying in bed all day, but then she was working at the church for a few hours. Okay, girl, whatever, you came home, you rested. Now she's got to cook dinner. But she doesn't have to do this live. But obviously there's something on her heart, the tea, that she's going to spill. So it's definitely kind of cool to get insight on her other companies that she's been in versus Celestia, and then to kind of compare and also kind of realize it's truly all the same. So like she says a lot of things that they say in other MLM companies. So this is a good watch, I promise.
Because I can always back it up. So we're going to speak on some things, and these are my truths and my things that I have personally been through in my network marketing career. So let's take it back. I was fixing to talk about Celestia. Let's take it back. For 10 years, I've been in this
She
space.
is, but I'm here for it.
I started at Unique. I was so broke that my mama hosted a party for somebody. She earned some Y cash. She asked if that Y cash could be used towards a kit. It technically wasn't supposed to. So the woman literally bought me in. Hey, Keisha, I seen your announcement. And Melissa called me. I'm so excited. Okay.
Ada, I
So
like her
excited.
too. That's
I was
why I
at
like
Unique for
she
2
comes
years.
on
I
here
had
and
never
spills
done
the
direct
tea.
sales
So I think
before. I'd
it's
never
really
done a
good.
live video before.
I
I
actually do
wasn't
like her
even
as well.
doing selfies. I didn't know how to fill in eyebrows. I really didn't know jack diddly about makeup, but I needed money. That is the sole purpose of why I started Unique. It's not because I tried the products and love them. It's because I needed money. And my mom knew I needed money, and so she bought me in. And so I learned quickly in the 2 years that I was there. I made it to the top 1% of the company, or 2%. I made it to purple status. I was bringing home a check of like $1,100, and I was like, oh my gosh, $1,100, that's life-changing money. And I like to think about those things and talk about those things, because now if I don't make a $10,000 check, I'm like, what? So let me just tell you, you need to humble yourselves every now and then, and remind yourself of your roots. When you cried over $500 checks, if you're a top leader, remind yourself
I
of
do. I
that. Go
love her
back to watch
accent. I
some of your
think
live
she's
videos before
adorable,
they
and
get deleted
I
on
love
Facebook, because they're
her
fixing to start deleting
attitude
all the live videos
in
that are,
general.
I think, a month old, less or older than a month old. They're going to start deleting them in June, I think. So go back to your roots. And
That's also interesting information that I found out through her, that eventually Facebook Lives are going to start getting deleted or something after 30 days. So does anybody know anything about that? Because I have no idea. I'm not really on Facebook like ever. So and like I am, but I don't go live over there.
remember what you got in for. And for me, that was to make $500 a month. I did not even think that was possible. I thought that was astronomical. So when I left that company making $1,100, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to replace that. Fact of the matter is, I was there for 2 years. We're not gonna get into all the nitty gritty of why I left Unique, but there was a reason. It got its own, live video when I left. And I told you, I've done in the very beginning of this, I said I've done it the wrong way and I've done it the right way. I left Unique in the wrong ways. I left Unique for the right reasons, but I handled my exit in the wrong way, and I've had to make those wrongs right. And so I left. I made a big stink. I told the truth. It's crazy, right? Because telling the truth should be applauded, but sometimes you can tell the truth with malicious intent. And we're going to speak on that, okay? Because there's a lot of truths that I don't speak on because I don't want to hurt people. Can I get a hashtag amen in the comments? You can tell the truth and say, well, it's the truth, so it's fine.
Here's the thing, though, especially in this scenario where she's talking about how she didn't want to tell the truth or whatever because it was harmful to other people from her old company. But when you're speaking truth of how things are going down in MLM and the unethical policies, the procedures, the pay cuts, and all that, whatever, like that is stuff that does need to be said. So that way, that same thing doesn't happen to other people. Unfortunately, she moved on to another MLM, and now she's about to talk to us on some other truth in Celestia. But I don't, I, this is not a truth with malicious intent, in my opinion. I don't think so.
You know what? If you're telling the truth with malicious intent, you're wrong. Okay? If you're telling the truth to try to hurt somebody, you're wrong. Can I get a hashtag amen for somebody who believes that? Because that's what I did. I got on and I did this big spiel and told the truth, but it was out there to hurt somebody, and that's where I was wrong. The truth wasn't wrong. The wrongness was in how I delivered it. And so, anyways, I was there for 2 years. I left. I did a little stint at Lime Life for literally 6 weeks. I met Kendall Burke Brewer. See, I didn't understand why I met Kendall and why I was only there for 6 weeks, because Kendall was an incredible mentor. But the fact of the matter is, I literally left Unique and was brokenhearted and signed up with Lime Life the same night. And I was not ready for that. I was not mentally prepared. I was not emotionally prepared. Those of you that have ever left a direct sales company, is it not like a breakup? Can I get a hashtag me in the comments if you've ever left?
It's like a breakup, or like you left a cult and you're being isolated and shunned by the people that you were told were your best friends and your family? Because that's exactly how it goes. Like you leave and then you get, what's the word? Your girl can't think of words today, and I don't know why. But yeah, you know what I'm trying. Somebody will put it in the comments. Yeah, Lime Life is a cult. Like most MLMs in my opinion. All MLMs in my opinion, for sure.
A direct sales company, and it felt like a part of your heart was actually ripped out of your chest. And so I was not prepared. I did not understand why. I left Unique and I went to Lime Life, and I seen tremendous success in those 6 weeks. I sold more than I'd ever
That's a
sold,
good
like
word.
in
Thank
from
you.
Unique. But I wasn't ready. My heart wasn't in. And so I text Kendall. I was like, Kendall, my heart's not in it. I have to be done.
Excommunicated, I think, is what I was going for.
Because she
They're all the
is the
same. You
VP
guys got
of
it.
sales or whatever. She's got some little crazy corporate, thing at Celestia now. Now I understand. And we worked together in times past, and she has been a rock for me in all of my transitions. Even when I was leaving Unique, she was a rock for me. That's why I joined her at Lime Life. So during the time of Lime Life and Unique, I had added in paparazzi jewelry, and that had no drama. That was literally the only drama-free company that I've ever been in. It was so chill. It was so laid back. I will tell you, though, the thing that I do not like about paparazzi is they are very strict on their compliance. They are very...
That's what you don't like about paparazzi? I could tell a million other things to not like about paparazzi.
strict. They have a big, thick rule book. Don't care if, again, I told you, if you guys don't want to hear the truth, like, don't be on here, right? Because it's the truth, the God honest truth. I love doing paparazzi, but dude, they have such a thick rule book on what you can do and what you can't do, what you can say, what you can't say, what you can do on your own personal page. And I just, at that time in my career, I was fine with it. I'm not like that now. Not 10 years in, you're not going to tell me what I can do, okay? Because I'm the one that makes the company money. And so, all that being said, I had done paparazzi, and that was fun. And I kind of did with that for a little while, and I loved it. Like, I loved paparazzi jewelry. I loved the $5 jewelry. I loved the whole setup of things. Well, I ended up quitting, and I took like a hiatus. And then I think I found Mary Kay, and they were supposed to be like really Christian oriented and all of this stuff. And so I was like, okay, I love the mission here. I love that they're a Christian oriented company. I got the products in. The products were pretty good. They weren't like my favorite, but then again, at that point, I really didn't know much about makeup. They have a really bomb mascara. Mary Kay has got an awesome mascara. I think it's called like Lash Loving or something like that. It's a great mascara. But what I
yeah, the Mary Kay standards are like crazy to me. I know they call them like Christian oriented, but they're like, don't you have to wear like pantyhose and dresses and skirts, and we can't wear pants in Mary Kay, and we have to wear makeup? That's just yikes. I don't like that company. I've been recruited. People have tried to recruit me in the Mary Kay for so many years.
Realized very quickly into that is that even though I could be successful there, most could not. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not a perfect leader. I'm not even a great leader. I don't know how I do what I do other than by the grace of God. I can tell you, though, I treat people with kindness. I treat people with respect. I give grace. I give mercy. And at most, I'm the best listening ear that you're going to get. I will give you guidance on business, but also love to give life guidance. And so I think that, treating people good and treating people like more than a business person in your downline is extremely important. And I think that is why people do continue to follow me everywhere I go. And I also stand on business. If I say something, I mean it. If I make a mistake, if I publicly make that mistake, I'm going to publicly apologize. If I publicly tell you something's good and I realize it was bad, I'm going to publicly talk about it. I don't brush stuff under the rug. I never have. I never will. I do not delete posts. I do not delete comments. I'm the type of person, if I say it and it offends you, we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to say, hey, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. And so I think honesty also goes a very long way. People know with me, they're going to get straight honesty. And if I say something's good, they can trust that. And so after a little time at Mary Kay, I took like a 3 or 6 month break. And then in walked Farmasi. And here I was, this girl who really had seen this, a little bit of success at Unique. I was doing pretty good. I thought was good. And there was Farmasi. And it was 6 months old, and I got the products in, and I'm gonna be so for real because I've talked about it. I talked about it when I first joined. I talked about it many times during the joining because they have had Farmasi has had a beautiful glow up. But when I first got the products in, there was a girl named Caitlin, and we had kind of went into this thing together, and we literally FaceTime each other, and we did not like the packaging, okay?
Dude, Farmasi, oh my God. How isn't Farmasi not that old? I know I did one video about it, but no, she didn't rejoin Farmasi. She talks about it for a while, but she's in Celestia now. So that's what she's talking about now. She's just going through her entire past and she's gonna compare the the um the comp plans. Wow.
And I've never been a packaging girly, but I was like, oh my gosh, what the crap is this? But the products were good. And so I got over, in my opinion, what was cheap looking packaging. Farmasi has beautiful packaging now. Because the products were great and I liked the price point. And there was this awesome thing that was a 50% discount.
Honestly, this is exactly why I do love Tiffany's energy, because she is so excited about it. She's really easy to listen to and like digest her contents, because she's not always super cringy, but there are some things here and there, but I do I like the way she talks and I like the way she's here spilling the tea. So
commission rate, and I had never seen that before in a company.
We're just waiting for her to get to that point. She's telling her story now.
I think that they put the 50% discount and 50% commission on the market. During my time there, and please know that this is a no bash zone. Do not be talking about Farmasi in the comments negatively. Do not be talking about none of these companies in the comments negatively, okay? Because every company has its flaws, including Celestia, and we're going to discuss them. I'm getting there. But during my time there, I was there for 3.5 years. Guys, I worked my honey off. I was a nobody. I did not even have it set up on my Facebook to have followers. I came into that company as a nobody, and I worked. Day in and day out, it almost cost me a divorce with my husband on multiple occasions because I worked it too much. It became my life. And that's where things went wrong.
That's so scary too, that like MLMs do that to people, where they do become their life. They like eat, sleep, breathe, drink, whatever. Like MLM is MLM and that's it. Like you see these girls in the hospital posting like pictures after they gave birth. Oh, but I still have to work. Don't forget your whatever to get your mascara on sale today. It's wild to me how much it consumes people's lives. And even when they say it's not, it definitely is.
I started putting Farmasi before God. I started putting Farmasi before my family. And that was not a Farmasi problem. That was a me problem. That was a problem with somebody who had seen success there. And finally, for the first time, was being shown my worth. Like Imre and Sanan, they were so kind to me.
The thing is I do get a little sad for her when she says that's not a Farmasi problem, that's a me problem, because everybody was like showing this love and the appreciation for all the work I've done. Like, girl, that's called love bombing. That's why they do that. It's called love bombing, and it still is a company problem. And like, yeah, you get it.
They were so good to me during my time there. Gochin, so many others that are, now not there. Shelly, Shakira, so many others that really shaped Farmasi. They were such wonderful humans to me while I was there, and it was the first time I'd ever felt seen, validated, respected. I felt like my opinion mattered. And so what did I do? I let that go to my head. And I changed. Farmasi didn't change me. I changed. And I need you to understand me and hear me on this, that if you've ever allowed a company and who you become in that company to dictate who you were, it's okay, because it happens to the best of us, right? We can't help it. I was on Flyvit, God help, now I'm just a big old redneck, private jets. Multiple times. I was being flown all over the world. I was being wined and dined. I remember the first time I ever had a steak that was like over $100. This was the norm.
She was being love bombed, as we said.
With Farmasi, it's still the norm. Farmasi is like very flashy. They are bougie. If you want a bougie company, like you want to be like a celebrity, Farmasi's the company for you if you can work and get to the top ranks. Like that's
Farmasi's the company for you if you can work and get to the top ranks. Girl, nobody can do that. That's a weird thing to say. Yikes. That's just icky.
Where you need to go, okay? You're talking about trailer trash, okay? Lots of people love to call me trailer trash. It's something I like to do now. Let's get me a shirt that says trailer trash. Hashtag trailer trash. I love it, okay? Hashtag trailer trash in the comments. I love it. Listen, I was trailer trash. I grew up on food stamps, WIC, Medicaid. I had my lights cut off. I had my cars repossessed. I had lost homes. I had done all the things. I had moved back in with my parents as a grown woman married with a child. I had been divorced. Like, I had been through it, okay? I had been through it. And there I was. These people were literally
Yeah, that's always super weird too. They tell you to try like selling it before you even get the products and just use like other before and afters from other people. And it's like mind blowing to me. They want you to be a product of the product, but then to sell products you haven't tried before.
treating me like a celebrity. So it went straight on up to my head, no matter how humble I tried to be. And I will tell you, there will be people who tell you, and let me tell you this, I never was ugly to nobody. Nobody can ever say that Tiffany Pratt was mean to me. And if they do, they better come with some receipts with it, because that is something I didn't change. I might have become bougie. I might have become flashy. I started dressing ways I wouldn't typically dress, talking ways I wouldn't typically talk. I didn't cuss. I didn't drink. I never went back to my old sinful lifestyle of things that I had gotten away from. But I did start acting more worldly. And it caused a rift in my relationship with Christ. And so I was there and I loved it. I lived, ate, breathed it, slept it, bled it, kept saying I'd never leave. Farmasi is home. I'll never leave, blah, 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 blah. Until the last few months I was there, and there were just some things that happened that didn't set right with me, you know. And one thing that you'll notice, and you're going to find out about me if you've ever worked with me, or, you know, there's going to be people, I'm going to tell you this right now, whether I give 1% or 100%, the same people that love me for the 1% are going to be the same people that love me for the 100%. Same people that hate me for the 1% will hate me for the 100. I don't mesh well with some. I always will mesh well with anybody. You don't get, your personality does not matter to me. I'm always going to be kind to you, genuinely kind, not a fake, oh my gosh, so nice to see you, let's take a selfie. It ain't that. It's real, genuine love with a hug and a I love you behind it, because I truly mean it. However, I have been told that my personality is a little strong, right?
She just talks so much and I want her to get to the point.
You know what's funny? People think I'm a red personality. I'm not. I'm actually yellow and blue, by the way. So don't tell me, I don't know how I make it to the top of companies other than, you know, being empathetic and being kind to folks, right? So I will tell you, though, that
I do believe this. Like I said, this isn't, this video,
I don't agree with what's being.
This video is not here me talking trash about Tiffany. I choose these videos that Tiffany does because I like the way she speaks when she speaks the truth of MLMs, and I think it's good information, and I just wish she wasn't in an MLM, and I wish she would just like kind of hear what she says. But yeah, no, I really like her, and I do appreciate her as a person. I just feel like I wanted to reiterate that again. Like, this is not a like talk trash about Tiffany fest. This is a what does Tiffany have to say conversation.
Done. I will absolutely tell you I don't agree with what's being done. I will do it respectfully. I will do it as kindly as possible, but I say it with my chest. And if it offends you, I will apologize for offending you, but I will always tell the truth. Be brutally honest. And if I ever come to you and say, I don't agree with what's happening, it is to grow you. It is to grow me. It is to grow our relationship. It is to grow the company, whatever else. And so when the things started happening the last few months I was there, I was struggling. I was vocalizing it. I was vocalizing corporate. I was vocalizing it to my regional sales managers. I wouldn't vocalize it much to my team because the leader's got to be strong. And that's what sucked, because I had to be strong for so long. Nobody's seen it coming when I left Farmasi. It literally shook the entire company.
And that sucks that like she had to be so strong in basically bearing what was actually on her mind, and the things that she didn't like about the company she couldn't speak about on because she was a leader. And I hate that MLMs do that. They all do it.
Nobody's seen it coming. And so I hated that aspect. And so that's not how I roll anymore. You're going to know when I'm upset, okay? You're going to know when I don't like what's going on. So I'd said it for months and months. I'd earned some trips. I'd earned a 2-week trip to Paris and Cappadocia and like a few other things, and me and Ryan were going on it, and I had went to the Farmasi convention and went, and I had a wonderful time. My husband wasn't with me. I hated that. You know, I always love when my husband's with me, but he would never go on a Farmasi trip with me. And we're going to get to that. Okay. He would not go on the Farmasi trips with me. I went to convention one weekend. The next weekend I come back, we had our church convention, and sitting in church on a Saturday night in Dalton, Georgia, I got convicted, and the Lord told me to leave Farmasi. He said, leave it behind. At that point, I think I was bringing home about $11,000 a month. It wasn't my highest month.
So what's going through your mind when you've decided that God has told you to leave Farmasi? Was it God telling you, or you were telling you? I think you were telling you. Because you know. Look at this is Bonsai. I'm too busy petting him. I'm trying to do commentary here, but isn't he so cute? Say hi to everybody. Okay, sorry. Back to the video.
In my highest months at Farmasi, I never made a full $15,000. I made $14,900 and some change one month. Hold on, Sadie. And at that point, that month, I was number 3 in the company. Now, that doesn't mean that there are not people there at lower ranks that had made more money, but that is the highest paycheck I had ever seen. Yes, ma'am? I'm very busy. Can you connect it? Ask Payson to. Payson knows how to tell her mommy said to connect the Bluetooth. And so, now I say only, because I need you to understand, okay? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But I also need you to understand when these people are talking about these big checks, all the hours and stress and tears that go into that. But not only that, you need to put back like 30% of your check every single month for taxes.
The double speak here. Gosh, I love that she mentions taxes, that you have to actually pay taxes. That's awesome, because most ladies don't tell us that. Most MLM hunts don't say that. But yeah, it's time freedom. Time freedom who? They put in all these hours to get those $14,000 checks. Yeah, time freedom who? Yikes.
People don't do that, and they get themselves in a lot of trouble. And so during the height of my time there, I had made $15,000 or close to $15,000 one month, but the other months I would range anywhere from $11,000 to $13,000. When I left, it was $11,000 a month. So you have to understand that's a very large amount of money. And at that time, I had fully retired Ryan. He was not working a regular job. And so for me to leave the
You did not retire anybody. Nobody retired. Y'all ladies do not know the definition of retired. Stop saying that. Thanks, bye. You told your husband to quit. That's not, you didn't retire him. Stop it.
Company was bizarre. He could not believe it. And so that, I believe that was in July. And then it just spiraled out of control from July until November 1st, when I actually resigned, because when the Lord says to do something, you better do it right then. Don't wait on it, because he will literally make you lose sleep. I had become so depressed because I was not listening to him, because I was so afraid to lose my income. I was afraid that I would never be able to build back what I had built. I was afraid that I would never be happy again, because even though I was so discontent with what was happening that I had seen and that I didn't agree with, and that doesn't mean Farmasi is a bad company. It doesn't mean they have bad people. It just didn't set right with me. The reasons I left are not your reasons. There's a lot of people that's left now, and there's a lot of new big leaders that have come over there. Their work, whatever works for them, works for them. It was my time to leave and step away. But I fought it, because
but why, if it's so good and so amazing, and of course other leaders go over there, you're making $14,000. I just, like, I wish she would disclose the reasons why she left. What was it? Was it the, maybe she's going to. I guess I watched bits and pieces of this video, but yeah.
In my head, I was like, Lord, you sure? You sure I can't just blaze my own trail over here and just create my own thing and stay out of the... When he says to do something, you better do it. And so from July to, August, September, October, those were some of the worst, months of my life. Just so much happened, so much stress, so much turmoil. And when it's just so much turmoil, that you need to reevaluate and think, is this exactly where the Lord wants me to be? And so I did end up leaving the company. At the time, I was the highest ranking individual to ever leave the company. I think maybe some higher ranked people have left since me are like the same rank. I was a diamond director there.
Ada, do you know what that drama was? I'm just curious because, like, I just came across her recently when she started going on her lives about all the messed up things that MLM was doing. Because, like I said, the last one I covered with her, she went live to talk about just how crappy it was that they were changing business structures completely. And then she said Celestia would never do that. And then now, like, she's talking about Celestia changing their comp plan. But at least she'll get to that. But yeah, because I don't know much about this is the most that I know about her history in MLMs. But you've obviously followed her for a while, which I
But
love that
they've also
insight.
had great new leaders come in, and I am so proud for Farmasi. I'm proud of everything that they've done. They have had a complete glow up as far as their product packaging. It's really beautiful. They've had some reformulations, you know, and
I don't know if I'll ever find it because if they're, I'm not gonna go back and find it. But anyways, all right, yeah, that was
the
fun.
stinky
All right,
part about
we can move on.
reformulations is some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it. And so they have been through their own hard stuff. And the leaders that have stuck it out there, you know, you 5-year plus leaders, I applaud you. I'm so proud of you because that's how you know you're a leader that is not just there for the money. When you see that paycheck dip and you still stick around because you still believe in the company, you still believe that this is the right place for you, the right place for your team, you got it. And it doesn't mean that if you left the company that you did anything wrong either, because all you can do is do what's best for you and your family and pray that it's the right decision and pray that the people that follow you blindly because they like you, because they trust you, that it's the right decision for them. Okay. Now, let's get into the most stressful months of my life. Are y'all ready? I left Farmasi. For Farmasi, the last few months was pretty rough.
Here we go.
But then I went to a company named Reminiscence. And you are not talking to a gal that has not launched companies. I've launched a few, okay? I've done the whole new to the U.S. It might be 70 years old or 30 years old, but it's new to the U.S.
Reminiscence.
I have done it. I've done them from
I've never heard of that one of any of you guys.
From the ground up when Reminiscence was brand new. I have done it, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't for the faint of heart. I'm going to tell you right now, leaving a company where you're comfortable, where you're only having to, sell $125 to get active. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. And then you have to get back into hustle mode after 3.5 years. It is hard. It is not for the weak, okay? It is not for the faint of heart. And I've done it multiple times in the last 2 years of my life, and we're going to talk about why. So I left, and I did not leave Farmasi to go to Reminiscence. I left Farmasi because it's what I needed to do back in July, and their reminiscences that got dropped in my lap, and I was like, okay, this has got to be what the Lord wants from me. And y'all are going to think I'm crazy, because it was so stressful. It was one of the worst things that has ever happened to me, Reminiscence.
I wish I could just start playing the song Wake Me Up, and not get like copyrighted and just kind of go with that.
But I still believe it was all in God's plan, okay? We're getting there, okay? So, Reminiscence, I will tell you right now, the compensation plan was so hard to understand because it was binary. I had never been in a binary compensation plan before. And for those of you who don't know compensation plans, there's unit level, there's multi-level, there's binary, there's all kind of different ones, okay? There's so many different kinds. Well, this was a binary and I had never been in that one before. And I thought I understood it because I am a comp plan nerd, but I have learned in my wisdom in the last 2 years of having to make multiple shifts that you don't know a comp plan fully until you've ran 3 cycles.
Honestly, nobody knows the comp plan. If it is that difficult to figure out how the heck you're getting paid, girl, do not join.
Cycles in it. And anybody who tells you that they know their compensation plan very well and they can explain it to you without being in it for 3 months, I love them. I don't care, if they went to school and they have like a math degree or whatever, fine. I'm very smart, especially when it comes to my money. But you can't really fully understand it until you've been in it for 3 months. And I loved Reminiscence products. Don't you even think that I'm not saying I loved the Ultra Nova. Dude, I loved it. But the stress that came from that transition, and I told y'all I've done it all the wrong ways, I've done it all the right ways, I've done it the in-between ways. And so I did it wrong when I left Unique, and every other time I left, I was pretty good. But when I left Farmasi, I kind of rode I rode, in the middle. There was times that I did it right, and then there was times that I let my emotion and my hurt speak for me, and I may have done it a little wrong, right? And I apologize. I've done public apology videos. They're on here till June. Go back and watch them. I went to people privately, like I've done all the things, okay?
I don't know, man. I wish she wouldn't apologize because, like, obviously her truth has merit to it, and that's like just the crap you get put through in an MLM, and then you decide to leave, especially when you're a leader. I it just sucks to me that then she just ends up in another MLM.
I've made my wrongs right. That time in my life, I launched the company. We went like 6 weeks without product. It was very stressful. The company was growing. I was making more money than I had ever.
I don't even know for her that it is so much brainwashed. I mean, obviously she was in a vulnerable position when she first started getting into MLMs, but she made it to the top and she is a leader. And when she mentioned earlier about her not wanting to quit bonsai, about her not wanting to I'm trying to think of words and you bite me. That's so rude. About how she didn't want to quit because of her income. So I'm sure that definitely does have a big pull. And then the religious manipulation. Absolutely. I think there's a piece of that too.
Made at Farmasi, and that was the God honest truth. But there was so much negativity that came from people that I had grown to call family at Farmasi. And I'm just going to be honest, because I will tell you this, and you can't be mad at them, because I know just how bad it hurts when somebody leaves a company and they tell some stuff that you don't love that they're telling. And I'm probably going to have some people upset with me now, but
play stupid games, win stupid prizes. People shouldn't be so upset with you and decide that you're a crappy person because you've left a company and did what was best for you. Like, all the red flags.
All I know to do is just be honest, and this is not to hurt anybody because I got some dirt on Celestia. We're getting there. Bear with me. Stick it out, okay?
That's what we're here for.
People were really hurt at me for leaving Farmasi. People hated me, literally would say they hated me, and when asked the reason why they hated me, it's because I left Farmasi. I have screenshots. Because they were so hurt because they didn't see it coming, and because I always stated that I would never leave, and I brought that on myself, right? I created very strong bonds with people. And so when the hate started pouring in from people that I looked at as family, when it was coming from corporate staffers, that I still have video recordings of Zooms that were held specifically about me, multiple, from people that told me they loved me, called my kids on their birthday. It was very hard. It literally drove me to suicidal thoughts. And then there was this lady who picked up on me from the UK, and she really didn't have a problem with me, but she had a problem with the owners of Reminiscence, and she came after me, and it was just really bad. It was a bad season of my life. Now, Kelly, I have not watched many comments. She did say never say never. I will tell you, I will never go back to Farmasi, and it has nothing to do with Farmasi. But God closed that chapter in my life, and I believe he closed it for good. If I ever went back there, you would know it was divine, intervention from the Lord. But I will tell you, the feeling I had when I left, and knowing that the Lord brought me out because I was acting sinful, he does not want me in a place where I'm tempted like that. And that's what it was. Farmasi was a huge temptation for me. And it's okay, because you know what? Sometimes we tempt and we...
What is she talking about? When she was in Farmasi, it was a place where it was temptation of sin. What is this?
Slip and we fail. And that lifestyle was too much for me. I wanted it because I grew up trailer park. I grew up with nothing. And there I was, and I had everything, And so it was... It's a temptation I'll never allow myself to get back into. And so when I felt pulled away to leave Reminiscence, I I was like, what the crap am I going to do now? Like, literally, nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody's going to care. I had no
I can't
plan
with this comment.
whatsoever. And then Park Lane reached out to me. And that was the jewelry company I was with. And buddy, did I find peace in jewelry. Again, I told y'all paparazzi was so drama-free. I cannot tell you that Park Lane was drama-free. It was not. There's some pettiness that literally happened so often with that. And then the ultimate...
Yeah, she must not have been on the petty drama side of paparazzi, or she wasn't in when all that stuff was going down. Not Farmasi. Paparazzi? What did I say? I'm reading comments and talking at the same time. But there was a lot of drama in paparazzi too, so she must not have been on that side.
Betrayal happened like 3.5 months in with the company. A whole big spill that I'm actually not going to get into tonight.
Dang it.
As far as Park Lane, though, their compensation plan is great. Their jewelry is great. Like, I literally still wear so much Park Lane jewelry. So much Park Lane jewelry.
I didn't even know Park Lane was still a thing either.
And some of the folks there are great.
It's just not one of the big ones
so
on
there's that.
Many people's radar, I feel like.
That ended abruptly. I have never been fired from a job in my life, and I got terminated from Park Lane. You know what?
What did you do?
Nope, I ain't going to do that. Let me tell what I talk about in the beginning. I said, sometimes you can tell the truth, and it's fine because it's the truth. But sometimes if it's done with malicious intent, or even in my case, it wouldn't be with malicious intent right now, but it would hurt some folks. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spill. Now, some folks have asked me privately, and I've told what has went on. I will not, because there are still some people that I really enjoy over at Park Lane. Like I said, the product is still great. You know, I would still buy from them. Well, I wouldn't now just because of what they did to me. But I'm not going to spill it. But I'm going to tell you, if you were looking like for a fun jewelry job, like that's low maintenance, Park Lane is it. And so there's my push for them. I'm not going to go into it because I love too many folks over there. Okay. So when that...
They obviously don't love you.
That happened with Park Lane, when I tell y'all, my whole world crumbled. Like, literally, my income was ripped from me in a moment. And for...
Yeah, and like Monica just said, I know you said this a little bit ago, but this is just like a stark reminder that having an MLM does not mean you own your own business in any way, shape, or form. You can get terminated at any point. It does not matter.
For the reasonings that was given, I was so stunned that I recorded it on my daughter's iPad, because I was like, whoa, what? It was insane. And so I was so flippin' defeated. But during my time at Park Lane, I was there for like 3.5, 4 months. About a month and a half in, I was told that I could work any company I wanted to at Park Lane. But I had signed something called a direct appoint program agreement.
What I figured it was.
And even though that agreement stated I could work multiple companies, they decided that I couldn't. So we'll nip that in the bud. But what happened was, about a week and a half or 6 weeks into me working with Park Lane, Julian, actually it was a lady that is no longer affiliated with Celestia, I will not say her name. She'd reached out to me and she said, would you be interested in trying some Celestia products? And I was like, meh, I don't know. Let's get on a call with the CEOs. And I went, at that time we were living in a camper because we were in the middle from moving our double wide trailer, from our church over to our new property because we outgrew our church that the MLM money bought. Amen. Can I get an amen in the comments? Can I get a God is great in the comments? Because money is not the root of all evil, the love of money. And if you put money before God, that's when it becomes a sin. And that's what it had become at Farmasi for me. And that's just the God honest truth. I was checking my phone during church and stuff. That ain't right. You ain't supposed to do that. He won't bless that. Okay? I was miserable. Okay? But now I'm in a much better place. They reached out to me, and we were living in a camper. I didn't have no signal, so I went and sat in a Dollar General, and I remember sitting at the Dollar General on the ground outside by the hula hoops and like the little plastic pools, having this call with Julian and these 2 other people that are now no longer affiliated with Celestia, okay? And I said, okay, I'll take some products. And buddy, did they send me some products. They sent me so much stuff. Like, it was an astronomical amount. And when they asked me what I would want, and all I did was send over makeup, because I had never been a skincare person, because to be honest, I had always tried other skincare. As you guys know, my skin was always wrecked. You got to go back and see some pictures. It was very sensitive. It was very acne prone, and just no skincare I'd tried had ever worked for me. Well, I didn't request any skincare, but they believed so much in their skincare at Celestia. They sent me like 2 or 3 lines for free. And I didn't even try it right off the bat, because I was like, meh, you know what? It's going to be some bull crap, right? So I tried the products, and I like teased them on my Facebook, and I immediately got a call from the lady who was like managing me at Park Lane. And she was like, hey, can we connect? And it was the whole joke me and my daughter had, Payson, because we knew if she ever said connect to me, she wanted to get on me.
I'm about to Google Park Lane right now.
She wanted to get on to me. So she said, you want to connect? And I was like, oh, Payson, I'm in trouble. And she says, you know, we seen your post. She started the conversation out with something else, but we seen your post, like, with the makeup. What's going on with that? I was like, well, you know, like, I know you guys told me I had brand freedom, and I'm loving the jewelry, but, you know, my heart has always been makeup. And she's like, well, Tiffany, I just believe if you fully focus, she didn't say no, you couldn't at that time. If you fully focus your energy at Park Lane, you could totally out-earn what you could ever make at makeup sales. And she's right, because jewelry sells itself. It's very easy. And so I get off of that call, and I took it as they're not really wanting me to do this thing, and I don't want to rock the boat, because I'm kind of at peace. Like, even during that 6 weeks of being at Park Lane, people from Farmasi that we had words with each other, we had gotten okay. So I was like, I ain't rocking the boat.
Oh, definitely could have been an email. I'm hoping we're getting to the Celestia part soon. But I think it's funny to me that, because it really just shows that you're going through so many MLMs and she's still not seeing it. She's having these issues with every single one, and then still saying it's not the industry, when it is very clear that it is the industry.
Okay. And I'd even told Celestia, Julian, I was like, I just don't think I'm ready to jump back in makeup yet. Like, I love it, but makeup comes with, it comes with a lot.
Also, like, why would it matter
who tells
if
you
she sells makeup and jewelry? I guess because she was making so much money.
It is so cutthroat. It's as cutthroat as you allow it to be. Things will bother you as much as you allow them to be, or allow them to. And so I've definitely changed my outlook on things, and that's why I show up differently. And we're getting there, because I'm getting to Celestia right now. So I wrote Julian and Julian and the other guy at the time, and just said, I'm not saying no forever, but it's a no for right now. Baby, mommy is incredibly busy right now. What is wrong? Come here. Hold on, guys. What is it?
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, she does that. So you can't even see.
What do you want me to do? No, I'm not going to touch it, baby. Baby.
So the cheap jewelry on Park Lane, like, this is a pair of earrings for $78. So this is definitely, like, that's why she was saying you could make more money selling the jewelry, because it costs more money here. $38 for another set of earrings. I'm just over here, like, browsing the website. But yeah.
Okay, go sit down. I'll be in there in just a minute, okay? A few minutes, but I'll be in there soon.
Ada, if you can't find them, don't worry about it. I'm really just curious, because I don't think it's worth really covering now. I was just pure curiosity.
You little squish! Shut that door.
Unless it ends up pertaining to something going on in Celestia later down the road.
You know, I've got to fully focus on the jewelry. They were so kind, so gracious. During that time that we were talking and going back and forth, and they were sending me product, they asked me, you know, like, take a look at our website, take a look at our offerings, see what you think we need. I told them, I said, right off the bat, you need a micro eyebrow pencil, and you need, I said like a $19 kit with a mascara and something else. Okay, now keep in mind I declined them. Told them I wasn't coming. Well, 2 months later, when Park Lane rips everything away from me, I go back, tail tucked between my legs, and I said, listen, I'm in between you and 2 other companies. You know, have y'all made any changes since we last talked? And they said, actually, yeah, we brought the eyebrow pencil that you said you wanted, and we implemented the kit that you said you wanted. Okay? That was already enough to show me that even if they didn't think I was coming, they valued my opinion as a leader, which meant so much to me. Now, the company had been around for 2.5 years, but they only had 1,700 reps, okay? So they were very small, very small. That's ground floor, okay? That's teeny tiny, okay? Well, I was in between Celestia, going back to Unique,
Their definition of ground floor always cracks me up.
and then another company that will not be named. The other company offered me $60,000 over the course of 6 months to come over there and launch the company for them. A very well-known company. They were just trying to get their grounds off the feet, or feet off the ground with the MLM world, but they had been in like high-end stores and all kind of stuff. And I did not choose them because of the way their compensation plan was set up, and I did not feel like it was a place that I would personally want to be, because I felt like it rewarded bad behavior. Like, well, I don't want to talk about it too much. I will just tell you, I felt like in that kind of compensation plan, a rep that was bringing in somebody would push somebody to go in debt over a kit, and I don't like that, because the rep stood to gain money from them getting a bigger kit. I do not like that. That is not the way I roll. I'm in this business to help people make money, not to make them spend money.
Right, but that's exactly what you do. That's why you're, dude, I'm literally going to look at the Celestia comp plan, because yeah, you heard that too. She got offered 60 grand for a bridge contract. Yeah. And she turned it down, which is crazy. Not even that, just that she turned it down, but that it was a thing. So I would imagine with these kits for Celestia, when you get the bigger kits, there's no way that you don't get a bigger kickback as a rep, right? Like that wouldn't make sense. Trying not to spend too much time on here because this was not something I planned on doing. Here we go. Why is it not loading? Oh, it's a whole ass presentation. I found a Celestia. It's a presentation. I just really wanted the thing. All right, whatever. Okay, let's just get back to this. I'll get to that later. Sorry, guys. That's annoying.
If they're going to spend money, they're going to get a really good deal on it, okay? And so I chose, and then I
just really want to know what company it was.
A bridge, and I asked Celestia for a bridge. I don't care. Let me tell you something. If you've been in this business and you know your worth, and you're not talking to CEOs and asking for a bridge, like, what are you doing? Okay. Bridge helps. It helps you to build without being stressed out. Bridge is guaranteed pay for X amount of months. Well, guess who didn't offer bridge? Unique or Celestia. And so, you know what I did? I just sat and I thought, where do I want to be? What do I want to see? Do I want to go back to my roots? Or do I want to give this baby company a try? That I had already been using their makeup and their skincare, and I had loved it for like 2 months and had already seen great improvements. But not only that, when I had my very first seizure 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, right after I had declined Julian from coming to the company about 4 weeks prior, he was the only person, past, present, CEOs, he wasn't even a CEO of mine ever, to reach out to me privately and tell me he was praying for me while I was in the hospital. And buddy, that goes a long way. Because again, I believe that is why people stick it out with me. You are not just a number in my back office. You are not your follower count. You are not your PV. You are not your GV. You are not the amount of people that you bring into the company. You are a human being who deserves love and respect. Okay. And so he had reached out, and I just thought, you know what? He checked on me. And that goes a long way, and let's give this a shot. And so here we go, June or July of whatever year ago, almost 2 years ago. We're coming into our second year here. And I come in and I started making the most money that I'd ever made in a direct sales company before. Okay, now here comes some dirt on Celestia. Are y'all ready? I know everybody's so ready for the dirt on Celestia. We love it. And I don't even know what corporate's going to think about this. I'm going to be honest with you. They may not, but they have grown to trust me. And they know. I called Julian yesterday. I said, listen, I said, I feel like I'm doing this big live, okay? And you may not love everything I got to say, but just trust me in this because I have to always be honest. He said, okay, I trust you. And he's got a French accent, so it's just everything he says is so calming. And so if you haven't caught on, I'm not leaving Celestia. Like, if you've not caught on, like, I'm not leaving Celestia, and I need you to hear why, because we have a big comp plan change that's fixing to happen. Literally, they just...
Yeah, he wasn't doing it from the bottom of his heart. He was doing it because he wanted her to come over here and bring all of her downline, because she has built that trust with the people below her, where a bridge contract isn't really necessary for most higher ups. Like, yeah, companies offer them, but realistically speaking, those leaders that have those huge of downlines, we can't act like it's not just easier for them because people follow them to new companies and they immediately rank up and make a bunch of money. So those bridge contracts, I know they're a thing, but I don't think it matters when you're that high up in any network marketing company and you have that huge following and people that you've, love bombed for your entire network marketing career.
Announced it to the field yesterday. And I come in and I was making the most money. It truly was the best compensation plan in any company I've ever seen for over a year of time. Well, for about 8 or 9 months of my time at Celestia, okay? 8 or 9 months, the best compensation plan, astronomical money. Oh my gosh, okay? But I want you to think, because a lot of people are pointing fingers at Celestia right now, okay?
Every person in every company says they have the best comp plan. Always, every time. So I need more.
And they want to say little things, make their little posts, whatever. Go and look at the company you're with, and I want you to look at their first 3 or 4 or 5 years in business and find out how many compensation plan changes they went through. And I can guarantee you, during the first 3 years, unless they didn't see any growth, they most likely had a comp plan shift or comp plan change, an adjustment. And this happens because when a company is going so long, with a certain amount of reps and a certain amount of sales, and then they see a massive boom, which is exactly what happened when I came along, and all these wonderful human beings decided, you know what, Tiffany Pratt, she's kind of weird, but she's found this company. I feel pretty confident in it. Let's join her. I have some incredible leadership here at Celestia with me that I'm very grateful with, and they've just stuck it out through thick and thin. They decided to...
Yeah, that no bridge contract necessary because of all of those people that just follow her immediately.
Come and create this massive wave at Celestia. And so Celestia went from 1,700 reps to 5,000 or 6,000 reps in 1 month. It was insane, okay? And what happens is, and don't tell me it doesn't happen at other companies, because I'm not going to name drop other companies that I've been in and personally witnessed it in as a leader, okay? But there's always shifts. When massive growth happens, that massive growth, you can maintain that comp plan for 3-6 months, but then there has to be an adjustment. Hey, Whitney, I am so happy to see you on here. I just said a lot of good about Farmasi and my time there. Whitney was one of my uplines there. And so just know that this is not a bash about anybody, and how I get to talk negatively about Celestia. People love that, okay? Hey, Lindsay. And so, the best compensation plan for about 9 months. But what happened is we realized that we had to make a change. And when I say we, it wasn't me, because I love my big old paychecks, okay? Corporate's seen it. They're smart. They're millionaires and billionaires, right? We are a debt-free.
The thing is for her, it's not even like people will join an MLM just for her. I think there is a little bit of that, Body probably came over as well and helped grow Celestia, but she ranked up super fast because her downline from other companies did follow her. Like that's what happens. Like everybody, when Monate was going through all that stuff, like my higher ups, they moved to Olive Tree people. Every single person underneath them moved to Olive Tree people. Like that. So like now she's, a like super high up in Olive Tree people, my upline's upline or whatever, because everybody followed her. Like literally within that month, just huge. That's the only reason why I understand that concept, because I've seen it happen like directly. So that was after I quit, and the few people that didn't block me, I saw it through them, and then they're all connected with the higher ups. They were part of the people that were in the magazine and all that stupid stuff that Olive Tree People's doing lately, where they just announced that they're no longer going to be in retail companies. They're just going to be in MLM. So I don't know. They're going through a whole bunch of stuff too. But yeah.
Company and everything we do, from our relationship with Golden Rose, we do not owe a dime of money to anybody. No bank, no nothing. Okay, it's completely debt free. They're very smart businessmen, and they don't just have Celestia as their business. They have multiple other businesses. They're family men. They're smart, and this is for their families, right? And so they told us, listen, this comp plan can't stick the way it is. It was going to be unstable, and that's how it goes, guys. That's how it
I will
goes.
listen
In the
to you.
beginning, companies can have a really too good to be true comp plan. And then once they've built and brought in people, they have to change it a little bit, okay? They have to, because you have to make it stable. If you give too much in too many areas, the company will flop and go under. And if you think I'm wrong, go ask anybody else. Go ask top leaders in any other companies.
So everything she's saying right now, just to get to multi-level marketing comp plans, network marketing comp plans, pyramid scheme comp plans, if you will, in my opinion, they are not sustainable at all. Not even a little. They have to make changes constantly because it's not sustainable, and it affects everybody.
Have they ever been through compensation plan changes? So 9 months in, so Celestia had been around for 3 years at the time. They made their comp plan change. And what happened was it did not affect any of the lower ranks, but us at
That's
the
all right,
top.
Ada. Thank you for trying to find it.
We took a very large pay cut. A very large pay cut. And we knew we were taking the large pay cut. It was not something we loved, but those of us who chose to stick it out did it for the better good, because in what Celestia tried to do to begin with was to keep our compensation plan the way it was, because it was wonderful, right? 50% discount, 50% commission, and we had all these people making these large checks. They just wanted to tweak it, to fix it, to make it sustainable for long term. The way it sets right now, it's sustainable, but the leadership
Is it though?
is, we took a hit, a big old hit. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care how much you love the company. I don't care how much you love the products. When your pay is affected, it does affect morale. It does affect how people work. People obviously stayed. We lost leaders, okay? And we're going to talk about it because there's another shift coming, and I'm sure we're going to lose more people. But I will tell you, I'm so confident in what's coming to Celestia. It's going to set us.
Yeah, so wow. So all the leaders, they're the ones that are taking the hardest hit right now with this comp plan change. And I think now she's implying that there's going to be some more changes down the line. But Celestia sells like makeup and skincare, and I feel like they have like a pink juice or something also. I don't know. Celestia's kind of all over the place, and she's the only person that I've seen like sell Celestia. So, but it's something like that.
Apart, and I am going to say something that may be offensive here in a little bit, so please know that it's from a place of love, so just bear with me. We took a hit, and we took it for 9 months, and the hit just kept on hitting, okay? We stuck it out. And do you want to know why? Are there any founders on here that can speak as to why we stuck it out with Celestia for 9 months? I can speak to my reasons, okay? And I will tell you this. Ooh, we fixing to get on a tangent. I love the Celestia products so much. I love the products all the way around, not a few products, not a handful of products. I love the Celestia skincare so much and the Celestia makeup so much. It's from a company called Golden Rose that we use. We are the only people licensed to sell it. You know, in the United States, Mexico, Canada, we are the only MLM with rights, okay? It is an incredible line of products.
Oh, Ada, send me the
So
link to
not
that,
only were the
please.
products still what I wanted to
Email it or on
promote and
Instagram
share
or
to my
whatever.
customers, because I'm a customer-oriented person. We're fixing to get there, because I'm going to say something that's going to hurt some feelings, okay? It's going to hurt feelings, but it's the truth. But it's not meant to hurt your feelings. It's meant to make you look at what you do, because you are messing yourself up and you're messing your credibility up. Here we go.
Thank you.
But I also genuinely knew that the people I was linked with, Julian, his wife Abru, Jordan, and Mahfouz, the owners of this company, were not some flashy millionaire, billionaire that just had this in their back pocket as a business. This was a legacy business. They are all family people. They have 500 children. Just kidding. Jordan and Mahfouz have 5. Julian, I believe he just has his one daughter, and she's like my daughter's age, and she's into like all the things. And so we chat about our girls a lot. But I knew I was linked with good people, because at that point I had already been with the company for over a year. And I'm going to tell you something about
Come on, girl. Let's get to
character.
it.
Character can be a facade for some people, like for a little while, but eventually you're going to see the cracks. And see, that's why I'm very confident in saying that I always have receipts, because nobody can ever say I mistreated them, because there will never be a time that they have actual proof of me mistreating them, because I don't do it. And that is something I'm very confident in my character. And so when my character is attacked via post or whatever, you better bet your bottom dollar, if you don't have me blocked, I'm going to comment on it every single time, because the Lord calls me to be meek, but he also says it's okay to stand up for what's right, and I will do it respectfully, but we're not going to spread lies. Okay. So character, it's what is truly there 24/7, not on Facebook Live, not on Instagram, not live, not on Zoom, not on call. It's what sticks around even when crap hits the fan. And I have watched them at that time for a year, and now almost 2 years. Their character is what they are. Okay. They're not horrible people. They're not mean people. They're just good. And that goes so much further than a compensation plan to me. And that is why my leadership for you may not be everything. It might not be what you need. It might not be every system. It might not be every Zoom. But as far as being aligned with somebody who was a good human being,
Ada.
I can stand on that. And that's not cocky. That's the truth. I know
We
who
all
I am
stand for this
because I
right
know
here,
whose
this comment.
I am. I know that I let Jesus' love shine through me, and I treat people accordingly. And when you meet me in person, you are going to meet the same person that you see on social media, but I like to say I'm better in person. You meet me and you're like, crap, she's really for real. She's really a nice human being. I'm sorry. You know how many people met me at Summit with Celestia and apologized for talking so poorly about me because they never knew me? So many conversations. That's a hard conversation to have to sit and hear too, by the way. But I'm thankful that people felt so convicted. They were like, I got to tell this girl, I have talked so much smack about her, but she's wonderful. Listen, I'm a treat. You know why? Because the Lord made me that way. And because I'm okay. That's the only part I'm not humble in. Is knowing I'm good to folks, okay?
Tanya, you avoided a bar this weekend because they had a small biz pop up and it was 90% MLMs. Oh my God, that's so cringy. They do this. Thank God there's a small business pop up that happens like every weekend by my house too, but it's an Etsy one. And thank God I've never seen any MLMs there. But wow. I can't believe I'm still alive. Yo, Carolyn's here. Hey, Carlin. Why did I say Carolyn? Wow. Can't say names. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No useful information. Yeah, that's a whole thing happening here. And it's not even like useless information either. We're trying to get to the new comp plan changes here, and we're just waiting for it. We're just waiting for it, and we're still here waiting for it.
The Lord has taught me how to treat people, and I do it because I'm supposed to. It is what He has called me to do, okay? I don't go and meet people in person and just hang out with the top leaders. I go and sit and have dinner and PJ parties with everybody because your rank doesn't matter in my books. And so their character has stuck for me, and the products are phenomenal. So I knew, even though I was taking a major pay cut during my last 9 months here at Celestia, that I was still aligned right where I was supposed to be, and that God was going to take care of it. And buddy, has He ever. So here we go. That's the dirt. There was a comp plan change that failed. It was trash. It didn't affect anybody else but the leaders. But I'm going to tell you, somebody said it in the comments, and I know she's not a founder. She flat said it. And I'm going to say it. When your leadership is not on fire, they have lost drive. They have lost desire. They are not being paid in the way that they feel like they should be paid. They are absolutely, it is absolutely going to be a ripple effect. If I don't.
So that she's so right too, because this also reminds me of when she did like the blow up thing after the few MLMs started switching to just the affiliate program, and she came on here like ranting and raving about it, which I loved, by the way. How it does affect everybody's drive to work because now they have less incentive. And it's funny to me that the comp plan changes that she's talking about are referring to the people that are highest up. And it's like, so then I wish I knew where. Wow, I'm like moving my head, so weird. Where exactly the comp plans, like where is it changing? Are we losing bonuses for recruiting people? Like what's going on there? Why is it such a big deal? Because my guess is that, but yeah, no, okay. So Carolyn, she was in the one that sounds like Evanescence, and then she was in Farmasi. And then she was also in she was in Unique or something. She's been in a few different MLMs here and there. So she's been all around. Farmasi was the big one, though, that she had quit.
Don't go live and I'm not on fire, and I'm not talking about Celestia like I love it, like with my guts and truly feeling that in that moment. My leaders
Unique and Lime Life.
And then guess what else?
Okay.
They're not seeing their leaders do it, so the rest of the team is not. When leaders are on fire and I was making them those gigantic paychecks, guess what? My resources that I put out were a little bit better. I was going alive a little bit more. I am telling on myself and nobody else. I was training more. I was doing things better than my leadership in the last 9 months has not been the greatest. Okay. Have I still taken one-to-ones? Yes. Have I still done a do live if they wanted one? Yes. Have I still hopped on Zooms if they asked? Yes. But was I instigating those things? No. I'll tell on myself. I ain't going to tell on nobody else. I'm going to tell on me. Okay? I had to divert my energy because I had become so stressed out with the last compensation plan change that it had become not good on my mental health. But I knew I still wanted to be here. I knew that I had prayed over it, and I felt like
that's so messed up. Like, and oh my God. Like, somebody needs to tell her that it's okay to leave any job if you want to go somewhere to get compensated for what you think is the proper amount of money. So, MLM or not, this is wild to me that it's like there's some like it's okay to stick it out even when they make some terrible decisions on the comp plan, because she was like talking earlier about how it was so terrible that people would want to leave just because of the comp plan changes, but it's like no, this is where the Lord
still wanted me. And so what did I start to do? I just added in, I was looking for stuff for energy. There come Benieve with my joy juice. And then I realized, crap, it's kind of nice to offer things that I love and get out of this facade of top leaders can only rep one company. Because if your company's telling you that and you're fine with that, I'm so happy for you. But I will tell you that I literally was so terrified of me working with multiple companies and my downline working with multiple companies because we had been brainwashed to say, well, that's gonna confuse your network. That is the stupidest thing, because your network is not dummies. Your network walks into Target and Walmart and they look at a lineup of products, a lineup of breads and waters and makeups, and they choose whatever they want. They're not confused. They want what's the best option for them.
Right, but the best option for an MLM company is to not allow you to be recruiting in multiple companies, because then they wouldn't be making as much money having people only be recruited to one company. It ends up splitting, so that's why that is such a big deal. I'm going to address this elephant in the room right now too. My tongue is pierced. right? And I had it out for a while and I just put it back in today. And so that's why I'm talking funny. And occasionally some weird things are happening. Just thought I'd let you guys know what's going on there. It's starting to hurt because I'm talking so much.
For me, when I broke out of the box and I said, okay, my company doesn't offer health and wellness, I'm going to offer you what I love. Well, crap, I like doing that. Let's start sharing this. Let's start sharing Bomb Party. Let's start sharing these perfumes and lotions that I have found.
Oh yeah, she does the bomb parties all the time too, I noticed.
Now, I will tell you, most network marketers cannot work multiple MLMs beautifully. They cannot balance it. That is the God honest truth.
Why would you want to?
And that is the danger in omni marketing.
Also,
is that you have to either build, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you want to build one really, really, really fast and really well, and then once you get it built, you can start adding some other stuff, or go into 4 businesses at once and realize that, yeah, I may never make it to the top of all 4 of these companies, but if I'm pulling in 200 from here, 100 from here, 500 from here, and 400 from here, boom, that's top income earner. That's over $1,000. I don't know. I didn't math it.
I'm just going to have 9 jobs so I can make as much money as I can. That sounds perfect. I want to work for 1 million companies to make some income. That sucks. Time freedom who?
That's
time freedom who?
Thing. So you have to just have real expectations, okay? So once I opened myself up to that, I began to feel more free and more happy and love what I'm doing again. And I have felt a fire back in my soul. I never lost my love for Celestia. I've always that's all I ever wear is Celestia. I love it. It is all that will touch my face, okay? Because my skin loves it, okay? But even when we had to do a price increase, we did a price increase. There's some more dirt. Well, guess what? There's a bunch of companies doing price increases right now that their reps don't even know about it, but their leaders have already come and told me. So watch out. Because the person in the company you're talking about right now will be you in 2 weeks, okay? You need to understand.
That's so shady that only like parts of the company know about these price increases. Like, and then it's these people out here saying, it's I own my own business. Like, no, you don't.
But you need to keep your nose in your own lane and not talk about people and talk about companies. Because if you're happy where you're at, stay happy where you're at. Don't talk about nobody else. Don't use us as a fear tactic. Because I had a leader at another company use me and my company as a fear tactic in her leadership chat, and it sent 3 of her directors over to me in my inbox. And they don't care about this new comp plan change. I'm going to be honest with you. I told them before I was supposed to tell anybody, because I knew that if they were seriously considering come to Celestia, they needed to know everything that was fixing to happen, and they're happy with it. And so now let's get to the nitty gritty. So we had a little price increase on our products that hadn't happened in over 3 years, and everything has went up. Eggs, don't even get me started on eggs. Milk, everything has went up. So of course, after 3 years, after putting it off for 3 years, we had a small price increase. Done. We've had so much good come out. Hundreds of new products last year. I've never seen a direct sales company bring as many products as Celestia did last year in 2024. Never in my life, okay? I had never witnessed it. But now, here we sit, and Celestia's seen, the owner's seen, the lack of drive that has come from the leadership having to take a pay cut. And so instead of trying to tweak the comp plan and keep what we had like we did before and it being a mess, they hired an incredible comp plan writer. He has written comp plans for many very long-standing MLMs. And
do we think Tony's gonna hire this guy to finally write her comp plan that doesn't exist for her company?
He's written ours. And it paid him a whole lot of money. And it's taken months. And it's fixing to roll out. And now, let's talk about it. 98 new product launches. That is one of our owners right there, Jordan. Wow. Shut up. And we've already launched. Have we launched new stuff this year yet? If not, we've got new stuff coming. It's crazy.
Why is there constantly new things? Why is there constantly new things? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do we constantly have to keep, is it like seasonal stuff? Like, why is it, 98 new things is wild to me. Like, what?
Okay? We do not have a lack of products at Celestia. That's one thing for sure. And so they have hired this man, and he's written us an incredible compensation plan. And this is what has been used to make posts about us today and yesterday, to hold Zooms about Celestia, and to use what people are viewing as a weakness to gain people over to their company. And so I wanted to lay it all out here in the last few minutes of this, tell you how this comp plan goes and what it's going to do to benefit Celestia. Are you ready? Here we go. Can I get hand clapping emojis? Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is the big thing that people are using against Celestia, but I need you to listen to me for the next few minutes, whether you're at Celestia and you're scared, if you are, thinking about Celestia, you need to hear this, because this is a huge change, okay? And it's one that I'm excited about, and I'm going to tell you why it makes the difference. This is the big thing that people are viewing as the negative, okay? So here at Celestia right now, we had 50% discount and 50% commission. I told y'all Farmasi started that. They coined it. Well, guess what? We did the same thing. And that is why a lot of people, when they would leave Farmasi, this was a comfort zone. They'd come right over here to a very similar, eerily similar compensation plan and just build over here, because it was what they were used to. And I will be honest, when I found it and I was like, oh my gosh, 50% commission, 50% discount, like what? What? You let me find this, Lord? Thank you, Jesus. I thought that particular comp plan structure was what I needed to be successful. And to be honest, it does catch people, because they see that and they want to jump in for $19. They want to get that 50% discount. They want to make 50% commissions. But I'm going to tell you what the data shows. So let's go ahead and drop the bomb. Here we go. Drop some bomb emojis in the comments. Don't write the word bomb, because Facebook may ban you, okay? We are moving not to cut commission or cut a discount, to a completely different compensation plan. And what people are going to want to hear first is the negatives.
This
I'm going to give it to you.
So
But you can't dwell on that. You got to hear the rest of it, okay? Because people aren't talking about the positives. They just want to go to their teams at their other companies and talk about the negatives. But there's some positives that go along. So we are moving to 25% base commission up to 50. You can work yourself up to 50% commission. We are also going to have 25% discount up to a 50% discount. It is on a sliding scale based on how much you sell personally. Okay? And
so this is like this is like Monite's thing, like the more you buy, the more you save. So like you would get still more PV as a sales consultant, but then it's a bigger discount for them, or you also get a bigger discount as a market partner. So the more you buy, the more you save, essentially, is what it sounds like they're doing.
I realize that is a gut punch, and people see that and they're like, oh my gosh, they cut commission, they cut this, that, and the other. Here's the thing though, where they added in at is thousands of dollars in lifestyle bonus, a monthly bonus you can earn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is to cover what? That's not good enough to, I can't even, my brain just exploded. So exactly. Ada, recruiting. Yeah. So that's happening. So it's going to be even more difficult for people to make the big sales, and they're going to be less likely to purchase their own things because of the discount is going to be less. But they get to make up for that, only getting 25% commission instead of 50% commission by the bonuses that you get, the lifestyle bonuses that that you would typically get from recruiting and all that stuff. And that's just so the leaders can be happy. And that way they don't leave. Because before it only affected the leaders, now it affects everybody, but it affects the leaders in a good way this time instead of a bad way. That's what seems to be happening. That's how I'm understanding it.
Every single month. Tens of thousands in one-time bonuses. We used to have one-time bonuses that weren't that great, but what they also didn't want to tell y'all is when you have 50% discount and 50% commission like Celestia did, you only get 50% volume to your volume in the back office. That's 50%. Right. So if you sell $10,
so yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like the amount of PV is still the same, even so if they buy more stuff and then they're paying less, the PV still stays at that higher amount. So it shows you sold more in the back office, and that's what they're trying to do. So now they're kind of trying to play a little bit off of what Mon8 had, is what it sounds like.
Only 5 of that goes to your volume in the back office to help you rank up. That's also what you get paid on. Okay? We have moved to dollar per dollar volume. If you sell a $10 product, you get $10 in your back office towards your volume. You now, at my rank, I had to have 8 directors to hit that rank. You now only ever have to have 3 legs to hit the top of the company. 3 legs to hit the top of the company. So if you want to be strategic and stack 3 legs, you surely can do that if you want to. Yes, it's a sliding scale,
Stacking.
but I do know.
If you want to be strategic and stack 3 legs. So I thought you weren't allowed to do stacking, or is it going to be like an automatic matrix situation doing the stacking for you?
To get that 50% commission, you have got to sell 6K, and don't think people don't, because they do, okay?
I tried to find it on a piece of paper,
or like
a little PDF, so I could break it down and we could figure it out, but I can't find it. At least not fast enough.
Post and said they'll be affiliate by next year. Do you not understand? We just went the furthest away from affiliate marketing as we could have. We went from a plan, and I'm fixing to tell you what happens when you have 50% discount, 50% commission, 19 to join, because I just went through it for you.
Hey, Ivy, all the good stuff is in like this last hour anyways. You're fine.
And 9 months. We went from a plan that rewarded people to come in and purchase for them own selves, but to sell. It was not a multi-level marketing plan. It was a rewarding plan for just a seller, okay?
So now it's turned even into more of a pyramid scheme. That's what that sounds like to me.
There was nothing there. There was no leadership bonus. There was nothing there in the second compensation plan that we had that made somebody want to grow a team and help people to earn more money. In this new plan that there is. And not only that.
So now the new plan is even heavier on recruiting. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh my God. So then when this doesn't work out, they might end up backtracking to like an affiliate, not backtracking, but going to an affiliate only, because that's what she's saying. People are predicting that by next year, Celestia will be affiliate only. But she doesn't think that, because now she's thinking that this is going to put pressure on everybody wanting to recruit more people. But then say they do, this is going to hurt 10 times more for those people that end up doing all the recruiting and make it to the top, because they'll no longer be able to rely on their downlines. And right now, that is what they're pushing. And is it maybe just they've decided to push this because of all the other companies that are going to affiliate? So now they're trying to get all of those people in, like the people that left Body and Sensi or not Sensi. You get it. I know Body's one of the ones that went just affiliate. So trying to get those people in, because now they are going over here saying, no, we're actually going to put the most emphasis on the team building.
We went 100% network marketing. See, that's what I'm saying, Whitney. If people would stay in their lane, I wouldn't have to do lives like this. But here we are. You know, I still got friends over at Farmasi, like true blue friends. Like we talk on the phone. Okay? I don't know what was said. I'm sorry, Melissa.
I love this comment so much.
Oh. Let me tell you what happens when you have low to join and a very large discount. And there's nothing wrong with this, but I want to tell you, okay? All of my customers, can I get a hashtag me too if you've ever been with it and dealt with it? All of my customers became my reps in the company because they could join for $19 or for free or for $3, whatever join promo we had, and they were getting a 50% discount, which is wonderful, right? Because we want our friends to save money, but we still need customer sales, guys. Do you know that the Federal Trade Commission can shut a company down? Shut a whole company down for not having enough customer sales? If your reps are the ones, I've got to cut comments so I can focus for the last few minutes. If your reps are the ones making the most amount of orders and they are the ones bringing in the most amount of sales and your reps are the ones always buying the sales up, but the customers are not creating customer accounts, and do you know they can shut the company down? You have to have a certain amount of percentage of people, actually customers, purchasing product, guys.
So then tell me, based on that statement that she rightfully feels that way about, why changing the comp plan to be even heavier on recruiting would be a good idea. So now you're just going to recruit more and more, not just hobby people, but like actual, like what is going on? What
And
in
when
the
you
pyramid
have
scheme?
a compensation plan that was set up in the way Celestia did with that low join fee, and then they get that 50% discount, we literally looked at data. 80-something%, if I'm not badly mistaken, maybe Jordan can type it down in here. 80-something% that were joining were placing 2 orders in a year. 2 orders in a year. Do you know what that tells you? They were not here for the business. They were here for the discount. The problem is Celestia did not have a good customer, that's another thing people don't want to talk about. They just want to talk about the negative. We did not have a customer program at Celestia, not a good one. You know what they did when they changed this whole comp plan around? We have a new customer program where it's like Sephora where you get or Ulta where you get the points, you know, when you purchase something and then you get to get stuff for free. We have a whole new program coming out. We have a whole new customer program and pathway and new marketing for your customers where you can work smarter and not harder, and the company is sending out email and text blasts for you and daily and weekly sales for you, so you're not having to do that, because most of our reps work 9 to 5s. They can't get on and post it. And so we are now moving into a customer pathway, which is what every network marketing company should be to begin with, because I'm here to tell you those that are
what she said doesn't align with that, because what she's explaining is that the lifestyle bonuses, it's making it seems like it's going to be more heavily based on recruiting and stacking your 3 legs, but then also saying, well, we didn't have a customer program before, but now we do have a customer program and it's more shifted to the customer. And then if that's the case, then to me, that screams that they are going to be slowly drifting more to the affiliate marketing side. So I feel like there's two things that are very different being said here. And I really want to find a PDF and kind of a breakdown of this new comp plan.
Complaining about
see what's
losing
going
a
on.
50% discount or 50% commission. I want you to look at the last 6 months of your life. We have had 50% discount. We have had 50% commission for a year and 9 months of me being here. And there was growth in the beginning because of the hype and because the products were great. But as soon as we had that one comp plan change, we have not hardly seen growth or leaders pop up. There's been a few leaders, but not a whole lot of leadership. And it's because when you run a discount club, that's what you're going to get, discount shoppers. You do not get people coming in ready to run and ready to work this business. I want my customers to remain my customers. When my customers would sign up under me for the discount, I went from making 50% commission on them. Sounds pretty on paper, but guess what? When they signed up for the discount, guess what happened? They went on my first gen and I started making 10% on their orders. So yeah, Celestia's moving to 25 to 50% discount, 25 to 50% commission based on how much you sell. But we have so much good coming with this comp plan change. And let me tell you this, they showed me real numbers, real paycheck comparison of what my paycheck would have been in the old comp plan, the old first comp plan that I thought was the best comp plan I've ever seen. And they ran my numbers from that month and in this new comp plan, and it blew my mind. If you are a leader or a seller or somebody who's never seen success, this is what you need to try. You literally, it is risk-free. And we removed our $19 join option. I want to tell you that right off the bat, okay? We're getting away from it. I will be so honest, this is the part people probably won't like. But I think Farmasi people are going to be happy. Dude, it was tit for tat with Farmasi and Celestia back and forth because we were such similar companies, such similar comp plan structure, and then the join was the same price and the same commission and the same discount. We ain't like y'all no more, and praise the Lord for both companies because I want Farmasi to stand alone and be successful, but I am ready for Celestia to be outside of Farmasi's shadow and have their own freaking lane, okay? I'm tired of it now.
Woo! She was very excited. Oh my gosh.
We ain't sister companies. I want my sisters at that company to do well, but I'm ready for Celestia.
I love it.
It's time. It's time to shine.
But I don't think it's going to happen the way she thinks it is.
You can't come in for less than $99 with Celestia now. And it was strategic. We want business builders, and we want to reward the customers for staying a customer. We want our girls to make their commission instead of having people sign up and just be there for the discount. And so that's what I got for you. I love y'all. This has been a lot longer than I intended for it to be, but I ain't going nowhere. And if anybody thought I was or thinks I ever am, I'm going to tell you this right now, and I'm going to end you with this. And I really don't mean for this to come across anyway, but I need you to hear me. I can go anywhere and make money. Anywhere. I literally 2 days ago got offered to be flied. They might not want me after I said flied. Flown down to a company's headquarters. I didn't tell Celestia. I don't like them to be worried about me leaving because I ain't leaving. Offered 2 days ago to be flown down by a very well-known beauty company. I declined it. That is how confident I am right now in my decision to stay and in these products and in the people I'm aligned with here and in the leadership I'm aligned with here. If you just want to be somewhere where it is good folks just trying to do their best, we ain't perfect, we a mess, but we're trying to do our best, and you'll be treated with love and kindness, and it's not this big parade of fancy when you go see them. It's just normal folks sitting around in pajamas, eating wings and stuff. Like, Celestia's it for you, I think. I do. I think it. I love y'all, man, and I love Celestia, and I love the Lord, and I believe wholeheartedly He put me here for a reason. I believe He put Celestia in my life for a reason. I believe He has allowed me to stick it out and have the perseverance to stick it out through all of this to get to this moment, in this very pivotal moment for Celestia. I'm very thankful. I'm so proud of all of you at Farmasi because I know you guys have been through the ringer too. Every company, Limelight, Unique, any company that's been around for a few years, the leaders that stick it out for 2+ years, buddy, I'm going to tell you, and I have so much respect for you guys. I have so much respect for every company that just keeps grinding. And even when the hits come, you pivot and you figure something out. I'm so proud of you because in a world where MLM is turned into affiliate marketing, there are a few of us holding our ground and we're going to stick it out. And I'm going to tell you this, another thing. If you see somebody building a business and they are recruiting you and they have not tried the products at the company first, you should be very scared of that and you should run very fast because at the whole of it, you have got to be product driven. If you're at a company, you've built a massive team and you don't like the products anymore, you need to consider moving because I promise you, your network knows and your company knows and your downline knows. I have to love a product to share it, okay? I'm not going to build a team without trying products and knowing that I love them. If somebody's doing that, it is a money grab. And if you don't view it as that, I don't see how you couldn't. They're simply going because a compensation plan looks good.
Oh my God.
That is not the way to do it, fam. I'm here to tell you, even when I've made switches, I tried products for weeks before I made a jump because my integrity is everything to me. When you put it out on blast and you're with a company for 4 weeks and then you have to back away and quit posting because the product ended up being crap, it's breaking people out, it's making people sick. You put your name to that. You did that to yourself. And so the next time you find something that's probably incredible, they're going to be less likely to trust you. That is why people trust the crap out of me. Because I always do my due diligence and do my best to bring people the best. That's all I got to say about that. Good night. I love you so much. Bye. What's
Oh, oh, woof. Oh my God. I got to take these off my ears. There is so much going on there with the end of that video. I don't know, man. The Celestia, look at this mess. I have become a mess. These headphones are hurting my ears. I don't know how people live stream all day. I guess I could do it without headphones, but it's a lot. Yeah, it was more painful than I thought it would be, but it's definitely interesting to see the Celestia changes, and I'm definitely curious when I can get. I want to get a breakdown of that comp plan and then see if I can maybe find the old one too. So, but to go from 50% commission to 25% commission and a 50% discount to a 25 up to 50% discount, and they don't want reps joining just for the discount, but you know that's still going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Ivy doing video on so people. It seems like most of their big reps less than 6 months in, and their conference got posted on social media. Scrubbed it clean. It's messy. Oh, that could be a good one. Yeah. Ivy, message me on Instagram and we'll talk about it. But yeah. Anyways, I'm getting distracted by comments. Dude, could have been an email. Could have been an email, but she really wanted to fluff it up and do that, and it's which is fine. I get it. I don't think Celestia is gonna last much longer though because of that. I think it's putting emphasis the wrong way, and it's not gonna be good. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. We'll see how it goes. We'll watch Tiffany and anybody else in Celestia and see if they don't end up affiliate only by next year. But I'm getting off the internet now. I can't do this all day. This was fun. My brain doesn't want to stick around anymore though. And I feel like sometimes these are really fun, and this was fun. But my brain is done. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, have the day you deserve. And yeah, Ivy, let me know more information about Soul People. If you could message me on Instagram or something, we'll talk about it. And maybe that'll be something we'll talk about in the future. Thank you guys so much for joining me. You're freaking awesome. I love it when you guys join me live. It makes it so much easier. So I'm not like talking to a wall or a screen. But I will see you guys on the next one. Yeah. Bye.